Okay, it is cold, it is rainy, but that is not dampening our spirits. We are on our way to Oxford, Mississippi to see the University of Mississippi. We're also going to City Grocery for lunch. We're going to Roanoke so Patrick can talk about literature all day long and how much he loves the finer things in life. We have a full day stacked ahead of us. Stay tuned.
You are watching Travel TVL.
Mississippi in general has such a rich history of great authors, and Oxford, of course, in particular. We have Barry Hannah, Tom Franklin, just so many that have decided to stay here in this town and kind of continue on this legacy that Mississippi already has as a kind of literary state. I think there's a particular kind of tourism when it comes to visiting authors' homes. I think people like to see, you know, not only how they were as a writer, but just how they were as a human being. And it really is a neat glimpse into the life of this literary giant. And two, the house itself is so unique because it has rich history before Faulkner was here. So it's an antebellum house that Faulkner knew about for most of his childhood. So it kind of served as inspiration for him before he even lived here. And when he lived here, he changed the house so much, added on to it, and just kind of put his stamp on it even more so. Sometimes people refer to it as the study, but Faulkner said, this is the office, this is where business gets done, so it's the office. He specifically added this room on for himself. You know, the outline is still here on the wall, so that's one of the most unique features of the house. But even still, back in the kitchen of Roanoke, you can kind of get a sense of less formal Faulkner, less obsessed about writing Faulkner, and oftentimes the kitchen was the warmest room in the house, so sometimes he would write back there, but overall I think the office here just really encapsulates who Faulkner was as a man and a writer. You have so many of his knickknacks scattered around, and it really just kind of gives you a sense of who this guy was, apart from being a writer.
This is Square Books, but there's not just one Square Books, there are multiple here at the Square in Oxford. How is the best way to describe Square Books? It's not just one place, it's a multitude of stores. So how is the best way to describe that?
A multitude of stores. I like how that sounds. It is an unusual situation. We have 3 buildings on the Square, and the way we say it is we have 5 stores on 4 floors in 3 buildings 100 feet apart on the Square. So Square Books began in 1979, so we have a long history of being wrapped up in the Oxford community and establishing relationships with publishers and with authors and with readers. So over those years, we have become friends with so many different authors. Well, Oxford is where William Faulkner is from, so that attracts a lot of authors, and then they will come by and see our sort of extensive Faulkner collection. I guess like attracts like. Yeah. And so it's great for an author to be around a community where there are other authors to talk about and share ideas with, but also a place that really supports literature and writers, and that's nonfiction, history, fiction, all sorts. We are trying to reach out to as many readers as possible. We're trying to be the bookstore for everybody and have a place for everyone to go to. So that's what I think makes us all kind of come together as a magical place.
Charles, how do you feel about this food?
This is why we do this job. We get to go and taste delicious food at fantastic restaurants. Look at the sandwiches, look at the shrimp grits, look at this thing.
That thing?
And then Anna thought these were French fries.
I did.
Really pasta.
City Grocery is not 30 years old, so it has been an anchor and a mainstay on the Oxford Square for a very long time. It is the restaurant that started the food revolution in Mississippi. That being said, City Grocery is a place that is anywhere from your first date restaurant to bring your buddies and hang out kind of a place, but it is an upscale Creole bistro at its core.
I guess one of the first things that we're taught when we become, staff here at City Grocery is that our goal is to make rock stars feel like locals and our locals feel like rock stars. And so that's kind of the environment that we're always going for, is to make everybody feel like they're special in their own way, unless they're always special, and then we want to give them the comfort of being at home. And being able to experiment with different flavors and different, cultural influences that we've seen on our individual lives and on the South as a whole. Just looking at this one table, we've got shrimp and grits, muffaletta, we've got our house bolognese, the Reuben hand pie like you talked about, a pork cheek ranchero, so you see influences from several different regions that, migrations to Louisiana and to Florida, and how we're combining all those flavors.
We are very much rooted in the place we're in, right? So we are above everything else a restaurant of the South, from the South. We are a Southern restaurant. We are very proud of that. We are very proud of what Southern food is, and how much respect it is finally getting around the country.
Yeah. The bread pudding was good.
That was your favorite?
Yeah. I liked the Reuben empanada.
Reuben empanada, yeah, it's all gone. I also really liked that.
I'm turning into a big cheek person. We had the beef cheek at the Hound, now we have the pork cheek here. It's that or it's the bread pudding.
I'm also gonna go with the empanada thing. What was it, a Reuben?
It's a ham.
Reuben hand pie.
That's it.
Yes. And then the second was the bread pudding. It's very good. It's like, what is it? White chocolate, bourbon, caramel, apple, all the good flavors. All right, I've got White Christmas here. White chocolate, peppermint, Little Debbie cake. Oh man. Little Debbie Christmas tree. Here's to the 40-degree Mississippi weather. Oh my gosh. The cake. This is like the best peppermint ice cream I've ever had. I love peppermint. This is delicious.
Oxford's known for the food scene here. So ice cream just seemed like a really easy fit, because all these places that I've lived out besides Oxford had really successful craft ice cream shops that the whole town supported and loved. And Oxford just didn't have anything close to that. So I decided on it and then put the sign up in the window, and then Denver saw the sign, and then we just joined forces and have opened this place together.
We've been doing it for about 3.5 years now. There really aren't any secrets. Just whatever sounds good, we can make it. Ice cream is really cool in that sense. It's like a blank canvas and you turn it into anything. So we've got weird stuff now. We've done weirder stuff in the past. You could kind of put anything in ice cream.
Denver's super creative too. He'll wake up one day and have one ingredient in his mind that he wants to use and then figure out a way to use that. And some of our most popular flavors have come from weird combinations that people end up loving. Like our trademark flavor that everybody talks about is a summer flavor. It's called sweet corn blueberry crisp. Our flavors are unique, and a lot of times people want to try a few different ones instead of just committing to one flavor. So the flights are like 3 golf ball size scoops or 6 small scoops of ice cream, so you can just change it up and have like an ice cream sampler,
Hello. You may be wondering where I'm standing right now. It's at the 50-yard line of Ole Miss's football stadium, Vaught Hemingway, on Jerry Hollingsworth Field. What an arena. What a stadium. What an atmosphere. It's a little empty right now, but still can stand right here on the field. We spent a full day out in Oxford going to Roanoke, City Grocery for lunch, and many other places. So if you're looking for a place to come out to in Mississippi, stop in Oxford, because there's so much to do, so many places to visit, and so many restaurants to try out. And the best case is, if you tell people that you came because Charles Montgomery sent you, they'll tack on an extra 25%. You're welcome.
You are watching Travel TVL.